author D.L. Tillery here, the Mistress of Horror, and welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, but you press that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when I'm uploading new videos. And a new added thing that I'm doing is letting everyone know that my newsletter is up for grabs, meaning you can subscribe to my newsletter to keep up with all the things that I'm doing. If you do join my newsletter, you get a free short story, one that's actually only been published in Caliostro's print version of the paperback, and I have some rotational stories depending on how long that one has been circulating. So anytime you do sign up for my newsletter, you would be getting a free short story. The current one that's going around is La Draga, which is a short horror monster-based story. So if you haven't joined my newsletter, please do so by clicking the link in the description and joining. It only comes out once a month on the fourth Monday of each month. Now let's jump into the book haul that you're all here to see. So I got my book haul from Wonder Books. And look, this is how you pack books, okay? I picked this box up thinking it was going to be heavy. No, because it's packed, right? I guess Wonder Books needs to teach KDP and Barnes and Noble Press how to pack, their printer companies that work for them, how to pack book boxes. Because this is how you pack a book box. Thank you. And they had a packing list. Also, unlike the freaking Barnes and Noble Press, the company that printed my books for an author to sell, they couldn't even remember to put a packing list. All this bubble wrap. That's how you pack a book. Look how they got them stacked. Look at that. Somebody knows how to do their job. This book haul consists of 14 books, mostly all coming from a Wonder Book visit. Online visit, that is. I didn't go pick this one up like I did the first book haul I did at the end of last year. But this time I had it shipped to me because actually it was actually cheaper to have it shipped to me than it would be to drive there to get it, because it's over an hour away from where I'm located. That's the closest Wonder Book to me, so not much to do about that. Anyway, these books will consist of horror, paranormal romance, and things that I was generally looking for that day. All fiction. So let me jump into this. There will be some normal size paperbacks, some mid-sized paperbacks, and some hardbacks in this book haul. I'm not going to read the blurbs on the back of the books, but I will introduce you to the author and, of course, show you each book because these are all print-based books. First up is Witch Creek by Laura Bickle. And I'm saying Bickle because it looks like buckle. Anyway, this one is along the horror line, sci-fi, fantasy style of genre. So I was quite interested in it because of the genre particularly. I actually don't have any books from this author. I was quite interested to see what this author had to offer. So I'm going to give this one a check and see what it's like. And you'll probably hear about it coming up soon. Then from one of my favorite paranormal romance authors who also does other types of stories as well, but paranormal romance is her thing, is Christina Faheen. And this one is Dark Illusion. It's part of the Parthian novel series, which is they're supernatural beings, more or less, and they tend to find their mates through particular different ways. So I love this series. It's not a like, oh, I have to have the previous book kind of thing. They're connected, meaning you will be introduced to a character or couple character set that will appear in another novel. I like that kind of series setting. It's really, really cool. So I've been following Christine Faheen for many, many years, and this is one of the books that I do not have in my collection, and I was very happy to get it like almost brand new for such a steal. And you're about to see two more from her. And then we have Dog Tarot and like tarot card. And this is also Christina Faheen and also in the Carpathian novel series. Again, these books are very, very good. I'm not reading the blurbs of these, but I wanted to show you each one that I got. And I do really like this cover for this one. And if you want to check out Christina Fahim's Carpathian, you want to check them out online, you can. They are really, really good. I've always never been disappointed by one of her books in this series. And number 3 up for the Christina Fahim books that I got this time is Dark Song. This is another Carpathian novel. Again, never disappoints. This one says only he can hear the music in her soul. So there's some kind of connective way that the mates find each other, more or less, and I always liked that. Again, I'm sure some of these characters were introduced in a previous book. That's how she did it, these back in the day when I first started these. And it's been a minute since I've read some of these, so I'm really excited to jump back into the series and see what kind of new characters that she has here for us. That's all the small paperbacks for this book haul, so we're going to move on to the mid-sized paperbacks now. Right off the bat, we have Slender Man. You see how this book shines with the creepy tentacles behind him? Very cool. This one does not have an author's name on it. It is a weird, interesting fusion of a realistic feel and a fictional feel. Meaning there's like newspaper clippings and things like that, accounts of people who came across the Slender Man in a fictional way, and it follows a girl who actually goes missing, and then the male lead, I think his name is Matt Baker. Matt Baker is pretty much, I guess, the main character. He comes across the journals and then the newspaper clippings in different ways, and the book kind of goes like that. It's very interesting when I just skimmed through it. So I'm very interested because I am interested in the Slender Man. I've read different things about Slender Man over the years. So when I saw this book, I just grabbed it up, but I did not expect it to be in the format in which it is. Then we have this creepy, now because of course we're into the horror novels at this point. This one is called Bedfellow. Bedfellow is apparently a horror tale about something that comes into your house and messes with your mind. It's like a creepy child back there with a little dollhouse and his creepy shiny eyes. You see those? Very creepy. And this is a matte cover, so it's really soft. It says it broke into their home and set up residence in their minds. Like, okay, creepy. So I'm very excited to read this one by Jeremy C. Shipp. And this is the first book I will own by Jeremy C. Shipp, so I'm very interested to see how this author articulates themselves with this story. Now we're into like a dark fairy tale set. This is Poison. It's very shiny off my light. This is Poison, and it is a wicked Snow White tale. This author also has Charm, which is a Cinderella tale, and then Beauty, which is a wicked Sleeping Beauty tale. I'm interested in this. If this one's good, then I will get the other two and look them up, see if Wonder Book has them. If they don't, then I'll check them out online. Sarah Penbroj is the author for Poison. Very interested in reading this one. I love retellings of fairy tales and any other type of tales because that's always interesting to see how someone else's take on it. Like things like Red Riding Hood and Beauty and the Beast. I'm very interested in that. I'm writing a Beauty and the Beast retelling myself and some of the other fairy tales. So I'm excited about that. Then next up we have one that's in my reading list for the Gothic Hearts Reading Challenge, and this is going to fall under the prompt for reading a Gothic story or poem or short story that is based that has a castle or mansion featured, which is a usual basic thing for Gothic tales. This one does have that, so I decided to go with this and get it into my reading list for this month, which once I do this one, I plan to leave a book review. The author for The Shadow and the Glass is J.J.A. Harwood, and this is a Gothic twist on Cinderella, so I'm like another another dark version of a fairy tale. Very interested in that. So excited to read this one for my Gothic Hearts Castle prompt. Then next up we have a horror collection. I love these. This one's called We Are Where the Nightmares Go and Other Stories by C. Robert Cargill, author of C. Rust, which is a cool name. This is a purely red book with just a slight object-based cover, which is really cool. The tentacles, very Cthulhian. Wander through a darkly wondrous landscape. So I love horror collections. So this is like the main story, and then it has other stories. So it's probably similar to something I've done before, where a portion of the book was one story, but then I had bonus tales in the back. So I'm assuming this is similar to that, and I always do like that. So I'm looking forward to this one. The last larger size paperback is one that I did not get at the Wonder Book, but I bought it at the same time. Was from Amazon. It's Filthy Rich Fae, kind of like Filthy Rich Asian, I would imagine. It's the spinoff type of thing. And this one is obviously like fae, like fairy based, and a darker type of tale. I just saw the cover and was interested. Also, it's sprayed edges, and that's like a golden rose sprayed edge. Very pretty, and as you can see, gold foil lettering by Geneva Lee. There are other books in this series from what I could gather on Amazon. I believe there's a trilogy, and then she has Filthy Rich Vampire. So I'm interested to see how this one goes, and if it's good, then I'll definitely pick up the other ones. And when I read this one, I'll do a book review and let you know how it is. If you've read any of these so far, you let me know in the comments because I'm curious. Now on to the hardbacks for this book haul. I have one small sized hardback and the rest are bigger hardbacks. First up is a horror book, as you couldn't tell from the cover. This one's called Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Caw, and it doesn't have eyes and weird red lips. It's a very thin, small book, which I actually like smaller books. And it sounds quite creepy. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. I'm definitely going to do a book review for it because this was a horror, so I must. And excited for that one. Now for the bigger hardbacks. The first one up is Vamps Fresh Blood by Nicole Arend. And I'll try to back up so you can see it's very shiny, clearly. This one, I'm going to read the back because there's not much on here. It says, we are blessed with immense speed, strength, acute senses, supernatural abilities, and sometimes special talents. This year is particularly special. For the first time in our history, a Dhampir has been given a place at VAPS. So I'm excited because I love Dhampirs because they're like half vampire, half humans. And this one sounds very interesting. I've never read anything by this author, so I am very interested to see how this author writes about vampires. So looking forward to that. Then we have one of my favorite fantasy authors alongside with R.A. Salvatore. I actually know each other too. It's Todd Lockwood. Todd Lockwood is an artist first and foremost, but he also is a fantasy author. You look at that shine on that title. The Summer Dragon. And this is the first book of the Evertide series. By Todd Lockwood. And I have a fun little story about Todd. I actually had a fangirl moment where I actually wrote Todd Lockwood to see if he did book covers, and he does. And he did. I don't know if he still does, but that was like, ooh, I don't know, 8 years ago or so now, maybe longer than that. And I emailed him about that, and he was well out of my budget, which I did inform him. He was very, very nice, and said he does do that, and that his going price was $5,000. He did own the rights of whatever art he created. Of course, you could use it, but of course, the main rights still belong to him, which makes sense for artist work. But 5,000 was out of my range, even though I did end up paying an artist for about $1,300 for my book cover and like the package deal. But again, Todd Lockwood is really, really good, so I know this will be good, and I've read a lot of his work in the past. So he's a great artist and a fantasy author. As you can see, it's an epic fantasy, so dragons, you can't lose. All right, we're down to the last book for this book haul. And this one's also by author I've never read before. I have quite a few of those in this series, in this set of books. This is a novel of the Nutcracker. So again, another retelling or a twist on the Nutcracker-based story. This is called The Kingdom of Sweets by Erica Johansson. So I'm looking forward to this. It's a hardback. The blurb is on the inside. I'm not going to read the blurbs, like I said, but I'm very interested. If you're intrigued by the Nutcracker and see like retellings on the Nutcracker or different takes on the Nutcracker, definitely probably something to check and look into. Once I read it, I will let you know and do a book review on this. But I do like this cover. It is very simple. As you can see, the Nutcracker in the female lead there. I believe when I just glanced the blurb, it has two sisters in this. Carla and Natasha, so I assume that they are the female leads. But yeah, very interested in that. Anyway, that's my book haul, and it was 14 books. They all sound super interesting, so I'm really looking forward to, getting these books read. But of course I have my other book haul, so a lot of on my TBR. Of course, one of these definitely will going to get read because it's for the Gothic Hearts Reading Challenge for this month. But when I start reading these and getting them done, since my third Sunday is my book review week, I will be knocking these books out. Though I do have other videos already done for books that I've read from my indie author set, which are going to get the come up before these books will. So anyway, let me know below if you so happen to have read any of these books or what you think of them if you did read them. And before I go, I always want to bring up my newsletter. If you would like to join my newsletter, I'm always looking for more people, and you can get the link below for that. I generally give you a short horror story of mine that is either out and or not out, and you get to enjoy that by joining the newsletter. And then inside the newsletter, I tend to let you know something about a creepy creature or some from creatures from my world and stories, as well as my journey and what's going on, or if I'm in an event or something like that. It's a very compact and together newsletter. Sometimes I highlight another author that I'm currently reading or something like that. So look forward to that if you end up joining my monthly newsletter, which comes out on the fourth Monday of each month. Try not to over bombard you. Anyway, I will see you in the next video. Stay scared.